Yeah, they're doing a Han Solo film. They're shooting one right now. I'm sure you're aware of this. I wonder if an Obi-Wan Kenobi only Obi-Wan. Is that something that you would be interested in?
That's a good title, Only Obi-Wan.
Only Obi, yeah.
I would. It's got to the point where I've been asked, and I don't mean any offense.
No,
I've been asked this question so many times, and I answer questions when I'm asked them because I've been brought up like that.
Yeah, it's polite of you.
And it's got to the point now where it looks like I'm touting for work at Disney's front door.
Oh, I see.
Like, give me the Obi-Wan
I see what you're saying, yeah.
But of course, I'd be happy to do it.
Did you steal a lightsaber when you did that the first time?
Yes.
And where is that lightsaber now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Congratulations, everyone. We're finally getting that Obi-Wan movie, so let's freak out about this. There hasn't been a whole lot of good Star Wars news lately. There's been all the drama with the Han Solo movie, so I feel like they were announcing this because they had it in the works for a while, and they're like, we need a big win for the Star Wars universe right now because they're not quite ready to release another trailer for Last Jedi, but they do have some press, and they're throwing porgs at everyone left and right, like, see, here's some porgs, everybody chill out. So Obi-Wan movie was the one thing that everyone's been asking about for the last couple of years since they announced the Boba Fett movie, which is still sort of spinning in outer orbit somewhere. That sort of blew up when Josh Trank, the person who was gonna do it in Fantastic Four, blew up in Fox's face. Star Wars is like, okay, maybe we just put this on the back burner for a while. But through it all, Obi-Wan had been rumored, and they just put it off because they're still doing so much original trilogy stuff in the new saga films. So you have Luke, you have Leia, you have Han, all these old characters that are coming back. It made sense that they would include some Obi-Wan moments and then wait till after that story's done to do a full-blown Obi-Wan movie so they're not stepping on each other's toes. Because the whole idea of the spin-off films is that you focus on characters that you wouldn't normally spend an entire movie focusing on and broaden the mythology in a way that enriches the previous movies before. Like the way they fill that gap with the Death Star logic with Rogue One. Like, oh, they did it on purpose. Jin's father pretended to be on the side of the Empire in order to give them a big win and help them destroy it later on. So there's all kinds of stuff that they can do with this Obi-Wan movie. There's a giant period of his life that they haven't explored yet. They just tease a little bit of it on Rebels as they sort of capped off Darth Maul's storyline. So I'll address like the really big Obi-Wan characters that they can deal with in this movie because like the Hutts, for instance, are very relevant to Han Solo's character, so I'm expecting them to pop up during that. But after episode 3, all we really know of Obi-Wan, there's even not a whole lot of comic books or stories written about him that talk about those years, other than he was waiting on Tatooine, watching Luke from afar grow up, just making sure that he was safe, and trying to help people out in the area. So just looking at the canon that they've established so far, he went up against Jabba's men as they tried to extort people on Tatooine. He finally killed Darth Maul during Star Wars Rebels when Luke was in grade school. I think he was less than about 7 years old. Just looking at this picture here, they just want to make it look like he's very, very young. So there's a couple options right off the bat. They can do an Obi-Wan film set before his time with Anakin when he's really young, which I don't think they're going to do. I just think that would sound like another prequel pitch, like, oh, we're going to show how he became a Jedi. We're going to over-explain everything mysterious about him that makes him seem really cool. One of the biggest questions that I've gotten the last couple days is, will Ewan McGregor come back and play the character? And it should totally go without saying that, of course, they're going to bring him back. Now, the story is up for grabs. Like, they're probably going to do something that we haven't seen before, but he is the one constant. And like Paul Rudd, he's aging in reverse, so he almost looks exactly as young as he did when he originally played the character. So the Obi-Wan movie, subtitled Shut Up and Take My Money, just sounds like an easy slam dunk. Anything they do that's even relatively close to canon will probably do gangbusters. And what I'm really hoping they do, because there's so many Rebels things that they brought back from the original trilogy, Ahsoka just came back from Clone Wars, I feel like they could bring back a lot of Clone Wars characters that are still alive during this period between Episode 3 and Episode 4. So really you're just looking at that time frame. So anything during what's going on Star Wars Rebels right now or even after that, because Rebels is meant to bridge that gap. So it's like the birth of the rebellion, but you still have some Jedi that are floating around that haven't been killed by Darth Vader and the Emperor yet, and you're starting to see the emergence of the original trilogy characters who are either very young or in the process of rising to positions of power, like Princess Leia on Star Wars Rebels. They've done Lando Calrissian. So the only thing they really can't do is introduce characters to each other that didn't meet before Episode 4. So like Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't know who Han Solo and Chewbacca are before they meet in the cantina, so I'm not expecting those characters to pop up. So just gauge your expectations based on that. But Rex, for example, big Clone Wars character that they then turned into a big Rebels character, and then just recently at Star Wars Celebration, canonized as this person during the Battle of Endor. So because Rex is still alive during Episode 6, that means that he could be in the Obi-Wan movie, and it wouldn't break canon. So we've been dancing around this, but obviously the other big one is Ahsoka. I feel like if they're going to bring her back into the live-action movies, Obi-Wan is an awesome movie to do that in, because you can do ancillary Darth Vader stuff. She learned during Rebels that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. They had that big face-off last season, and they sort of left her hanging in the air. Like, they make you wonder, is she still alive? Is she dead? Per TV logic, of course she's still alive, and she'll come back in some big twist, and everybody will be screaming, oh, this is so awesome. The other really cool thing that they can do to expand the mythology is dig deeper into the idea of the Wills and their teaching, because that's one of the big things they've been doing with the new saga films as well as Rogue One, particularly with Rogue One and then with The Last Jedi, which no one has seen yet, but they're teasing out the Journal of the Wills, so clearly it's a big thing, and most of the big reveals will be saved for the saga films. While Obi-Wan was in exile watching over Luke, we know that he communed with the Force and learned how to become a Force ghost just like Qui-Gon Jinn. So you can show a little bit of that, but I would shell out all of my money for a movie with Obi-Wan palling around the galaxy with Ahsoka Tano and Rex. And you can include anybody else you want from Rebels. And as long as you don't step on the toes of young Luke Skywalker too much, you can show a little bit of Tatooine as well. But I think they want to keep young Luke out of the movies as much as possible. Like, there are some things that just feel like too much. Like, you don't want to turn it into a prequel thing where you over-explain something that's meant to be this first big reveal. So when we meet him for the first time in Episode 4, I think that's always going to be the first big time that we see him. So while I think it's okay for movies set before Episode 4, any spin-off movies, to reference him, I think it's just a really smart idea to try and avoid including a 7 or 8-year-old Luke in any of those movies. It feel like it would cheapen a lot of those big Episode 4 moments. So just remember, Ewan McGregor, sometime between Episode 3 and Episode 4, any story is pretty much up for grabs because there's not a whole lot of Obi-Wan stories that they've told during that period outside of him wrapping up Darth Maul's storyline. And because they already did that on Rebels, I'm not expecting to see Darth Maul in any of the movies. But it would be really cool if they try to bring back Hayden Christensen for like a very brief moment, like when you see Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back with his helmet off for the first time from the other way around. Maybe if they included him in a very brief moment like that, but that's it. We don't need a whole bunch of Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker walking around during the movie. But presumably, because of the order they announced these in, like Han Solo will be the movie between Episode 8 and Episode 9, Obi-Wan will be the next movie after Episode 9. So just chart your timeline based on that. But let me know in the comments, just what do you want to see from this Obi-Wan movie, assuming that Ewan McGregor's coming back, so it's going to be set between Episode 3 and Episode 4, and which characters do you want them to include? Hopefully you guys have had a chance to watch some of the Defenders. I'll be posting more videos for that this weekend, and obviously new Game of Thrones. So while you wait for everything, you can click here for brand new Last Jedi footage, and you can click here for the Punisher trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.